Hi, I'm Tim. Now, if you're familiar with Grandstream, then you'll know that they are very popular with their UCMs, which are IP PBXs, which you run in-house on the hardware that they sell you, which has a built-in IP PBX which you can install in your business or house and set it up with voice over IP telephones. Well, Grandstream have now just released what's called SoftwareUCM, where you can choose your own hardware to run your own in-house PBX. You can either run it on a virtual machine or a dedicated piece of hardware. So in this first episode, I'll be showing you how to install it on this GMKtec mini PC so that we can get the SoftwareUCM up and running, and then in future episodes what we'll do is get it set up with extensions and also a SIP trunk provider as well. So keep watching this video and I'll show you how. Now the first thing what we need to do is go to the website link that I've copied and pasted in the address bar at the top here. Now what I will do is put a link to this in the video description, so please make sure you check the links in the video description so that you know where to get the SoftwareUCM from. So once you've pasted in the address in the address bar in your internet browser, you should be taken to the SoftwareUCM beta test. Now if you scroll down, you will see it's giving you instructions on how to participate in SoftwareUCM beta test. The first thing you need to do is download the SoftwareUCM. So all you need to do is click here to download the SoftwareUCM. So click there and then save it somewhere on your computer. So the file will be called SoftwareUCM_beta, and it's a disk image file which is a .iso file. So once you've saved it, then what you need to do is go on to step number 2, which is register for your SoftwareUCM trial license. So all you need to do is click here for option number 2. This will then open up a link where you can register for SoftwareUCM free trial package. The plan is for a trial package, of course. If you click I on the information, you'll see it's giving you up to 50 users or extensions and up to 24 concurrent calls, and all the features of this SoftwareUCM are as per the UCM 6300 series IP PBXs. So all you need to do to obtain your trial license is put in your email address here, and then all you need to do is complete the captcha phrase. So once you've completed the captcha, entered your email address, click apply, you will then be sent an email from Grandstream which will contain a file which is your license file. So save the attachment from the email which you will receive and which will look something like this. So it will say please activate your SoftwareUCM, and it will be from GDMS to your email address, and it will contain an attachment which is called license_online.dat. So this is your trial license file which you will need to install into your SoftwareUCM once you've finished installing it. So please save this file somewhere safe. Then what you can do is either go to option 3, which is login and start testing. So you could click here to view the initial login and setup instructions for SoftwareUCM, or you can also view all current technical documentation. So now what we do next is we're going to copy the ISO file to a USB flash drive using a computer and also an ISO file copy program. So we'll get onto that step next. Then what you need to do is open up a program, and in this case I'm using Rufus, which is the portable version, and this program creates a bootable flash drive. So you will also need a flash drive with at least, I would say, 16 gigabytes of storage space on it. In this case I'm using one which I have to hand, which is 128 gigabytes. So what you need to do is, in a PC, make sure you have the flash drive inserted, and then either open up Rufus, which I have done on the screen here as you'll see, or use your own preferred bootable ISO creator. Now, as I've said, in this case I'm using Rufus, and I'll put a link in the video description where you can download this program from, so you can follow along exactly how I'm doing it. So once you've opened up Rufus on screen, what you need to do is select the device where you're going to copy the ISO file to. And in this case, you'll see it's got Kingston and it's Drive E and it's 128 gigabytes. Then for the boot selection option, leave this set by default as disk or ISO image. Then what you need to do is click the select button here. Then what you need to do is browse to the drive and folder where you've already downloaded and saved the SoftwareUCM. And as you can see, I've now got SoftwareUCM_beta. So what we'll do is select the file, as you can see, SoftwareUCM_beta, and then click open. Now you will see we've got the boot selection as SoftwareUCM_beta.iso. Then what we need to do is go down to the start button and just click the start button, and then you'll have a pop-up message on screen that will say the image you have selected is an ISO hybrid image. So what we'll do is leave this as write in ISO image mode, which is the recommended mode, and click OK. Then you'll get another message saying this image uses syslinux 6.04, but the application only includes the installation files for syslinux 6.04 pre-1. So click yes, and then it's saying warning, all data on device Kingston E will be destroyed. So what we'll do is click OK, and then you can see the status here is formatting and in installing and copying ISO files. So just wait for the status bar to finish and move to the end and complete the writing of the ISO file. And as you can see, the ISO file has now been copied successfully. So the status has now changed to ready, which means it's now completed copying the ISO file as the status is showing ready with a full green bar across here. So once you've done that, you can now click close and then eject the USB flash drive. With your USB flash drive inserted into your GMKtec mini PC, and also a keyboard and mouse have been connected to the GMKtec mini PC. Now this is temporary, of course, so you won't need to have the keyboard and the mouse connected after you've installed the SoftwareUCM. So once it's installed SoftwareUCM and it's up and running, you can then disconnect your keyboard and mouse. Then what you want to do is power on your GMKtec while keep pressing the F7 key. Now once the GMKtec has loaded its BIOS, you should then be presented with some boot device options, as you'll see, and you should get an options on screen. Please select boot device, and the first one will be for UEFI OS, and that will be for Windows 11, which is already installed by default from the factory on the GMKtec PC. That's if you selected the option, of course, to purchase the GMKtec with Windows 11 already installed. If you haven't, all you will get is an option for UEFI, and that should have the name of your USB flash drive. Now what you need to do is press the arrow down key on your keyboard to select the USB flash drive, which would highlight it in yellow. And once you've done that and highlighted it, press the enter key on your keyboard. Once you get the message on the screen saying install SoftwareUCM, all you need to do is press enter and wait for it to load and install the SoftwareUCM on your GMKtec mini PC. Now this will take a few minutes, so please be patient while it loads all the information and starts the installer and installs the SoftwareUCM. So you will see a lot of text on the screen, so just be patient while it scrolls through all the text. And you'll know once it's finished installing, as I'll show you what the screen will look like shortly. So once you get back to the install SoftwareUCM screen, like you will see here, or very similar to this, depending on which version you're using at the time of installation, what you need to do is power off your GMKtec mini PC by briefly pressing the power button, and this should then turn off the GMKtec mini PC. If it doesn't, just hold the power button down for a while until it eventually powers off. Then what you need to do is remove your USB flash drive from your GMKtec PC and then power on again. Once you power your GMKtec PC on, it will then proceed to load all the information. As you will see on the screen, it will give various messages and a lot of text, so just wait for it to start up your SoftwareUCM for the very first time. Now, once it's finished starting up, you will then be prompted with the SoftwareUCM login, which you can see on the screen at the moment. So, for the SoftwareUCM login, the username is support, and once you've typed in support as the login, press enter, and then it will ask you to set a password. So what you need to do is set a secure password, and also make a note of this password and also this username of support, because you will need it in future if you ever want to reconfigure or set a static IP address, for example, or reconfigure the back end for the SoftwareUCM. So make sure you make a note of this username and password, and it will ask you to retype the new password, and then it will say password configured successfully. Then it will give you some menu options. So it will give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 0, which is to exit. So what you can do is press option 1. So just press number 1 on your keyboard and enter, and then it will give you a submenu. You can list SoftwareUCMs, create a SoftwareUCM, delete one, restart, network settings, resource usage, change resource limit, or reset factory password. You can also factory reset the SoftwareUCM, and you can also exit. So what we'll do is select option 1 to list SoftwareUCMs. And as you will see, we've got now one SoftwareUCM, and the instant name is UCM1, status is running, version, and then we've got the admin portal. So the admin portal is the IP address where you can access the UCM from in a web interface. So it will then take you into your SoftwareUCM once you've entered the IP address in a web browser, and then the SoftwareUCM screen should look very familiar. Now what you also need to do is make a note of the username and password here. So this will be the initial username and password for the first time login using the web interface. Now this should be the same username and password for every UCM that you create by default, until at which point you change it in the web interface. So make a note that the username is admin and the initial password is SoftUCM at, and that's the at symbol, and then admin. So now that we know the admin portal IP address, what we can do is exit by typing 0 and then pressing enter, and then we can exit from this main menu by pressing 0, and this will take you back to the SoftwareUCM login, as you will see on the screen at the moment. So now that you're back to the SoftwareUCM login, so it means that you've logged out of the initial setup screen, and what you could do in future now is go into your SoftwareUCM using that IP address. And the IP address, if you recall, was 192.168.1.251. So if we enter that in the address bar of our web browser, this should then take you to a connection is not private. Of course, you will get this message because it's an internal and it doesn't have a certificate. So click advanced and then proceed to the IP address. This will then take you to your welcome to the SoftwareUCM, where you can enter the username. So if you recall, the username was admin. So for the initial password, it's soft, so SOFT, capital U, capital C, capital M, and then the at symbol, and then the word admin in lowercase. You can then select login, and then this will take you to your SoftwareUCM service plan activation. So now that we've got to the SoftwareUCM service plan activation, this confirms that our SoftwareUCM is actually working properly. So in the next video, what we'll do is go ahead and add the license file, and then we'll proceed to configure our SoftwareUCM for the first time. So keep a lookout for the upcoming episodes in this Software UCM series, and hope you found this video helpful. Hope you were able to easily follow it, and thanks for watching. So more videos coming soon. Take care and bye for now.